Don't leave me hanging. It's go time.
Hey everybody, this is Josh, and here we have a game between COL FireZerg. That COL, of course, stands for Complexity Gaming. He is the pink Zerg down here on the bottom of Metalopolis. As his name would suggest, FireZerg is, of course, a very good Zerg player, and he hails from Canada. His opponent today is going to be NGry. VVV, of course, is his team name. NGry is actually his player name, and I'm just going to call him Angry from this point on, since I'm pretty sure that's what the intention was. He is the red Terran here on the right side of Metalopolis. So we do have TVZ, close running positions here on Metalopolis. This, of course, lends itself to more aggressive builds. And this is just game one in a best-of-5 series being played between these two players for the finals of the AMG Classic number 2. The winner of this 64-player tournament will receive $20 and the satisfaction of winning a pretty large tournament. And it had some decent players in it, and of course I just want to do this as a sort of spotlight for Complexity Gaming, since I recently joined their ranks, not as a player but as a sort of media production guy. So I want to try and get these nice tournament finals and things uploaded onto YouTube for everyone to be able to see how the players are doing. VVV Angry actually is an American player, forgot to mention that earlier. It's always nice to mention where both players are from. If you do it for one, should do it for the other, so we know what teams these guys are on, what countries they're from, what races they are, and what colors they picked for these finals. FireZerg just trying to be annoying right now against Angry, running around with this drone. He actually dropped his hatchery here at the natural before a spawning pool. No gas being collected right now, but actually back at Angry's base he's getting a second barracks up and also has no refinery. So both players going to be going mineral only, for, at least for the first part of this game. FireZerg rescuing his drone there. One more jab from that SCV's drill would have popped him like a pinata. Angry is now showing up at FireZerg's base, going to take a look around, see that there's no gas being collected. Actually, he didn't even make it that far. He just saw this hatchery coming down and decided that's all he really needed to see. Back at his base, still no refinery being built, just these two racks going to be cranking out Marines, at least for the first little while. There is a Marine out now, so it's going to be able to ward off any other scouting drones that FireZerg sends. He does have a spawning pool of his own begun now, and soon we will be seeing some Zerglings and a nice queen, perhaps. Actually, probably two queens, since he'll have the second hatchery completed as well, and he is seeming to save up a lot of minerals right now. He's stopped droning for the time being, waiting for the spawning pool to finish before he builds anything else. What is he going to get immediately? This second hatch doesn't quite finish until, there we go. He does have enough for another queen right there too. He did get one started at the main. There goes the one at the natural, and 8 Zerglings are being built. Couple of drones transferring over, going to start mining over here. Spinecrawler going up as well. Of course, FireZerg knows that there are 2 barracks there. Is Angry going to try and build a bunker? He's a little bit too late to stop that hatch, but he can still stop this Spinecrawler. First 6 Lings do get out. Spinecrawler is killed, not cancelled, so decent little pickup by Angry there. He loses his SCV, however, and is going to lose a couple of Marines to these Lings, it looks like. Still 1 Marine left down here on the low ground. Of course, he's not going to have any more vision on these 6 Lings up on the top. FireZerg doing a good job defending that natural without too many losses there. He actually only lost a Spinecrawler and a drone. Can't even really say that, since a Spinecrawler is made up of a drone, so he lost the cost of a Spinecrawler. This last Marine is going to be picked off quite cleanly by FireZerg, and he's just going to back off. He did lose 2 Lings there, though, to these Marines hanging out on top. But now FireZerg has sort of turned the tables on Angry. He can just leave these Lings here. He'll know exactly when Angry tries to expand, if he tries to expand, and he knows exactly when Angry will be moving out of his base. So he's getting a Spinecrawler up now, doing his larva injects right on time, and now getting up to gas. Obviously has not started Zergling speed since he doesn't have any gas. Angry, on the other hand, still does not have a refinery. So 5.5 minutes in this game, nearly 6 minutes in, neither player has collected a single drop of Vespene gas. Actually, I guess since it's a gas, you wouldn't measure it in drops, but whatever. You know, understand what I mean. Command center coming up now for Angry, as well as these 2 additional barracks. Angry trying to build a bunker down here on the bottom of his ramp. He is going to successfully complete that as these Marines take out the last of those Lings. FireZerg sort of lost his map vision just outside of Angry's base, but he did take these 2 Xel'Naga towers, so if Angry tries to move any horizontal or lateral movement, he'll be able to know about that quite quickly. Going on back at FireZerg's base, he is getting a Baneling nest up. Of course, this is a terrific choice when you see that your opponent is getting a ton of Marines. Of course, he doesn't know that he didn't start mining any gas, or collecting any gas, I should say. You don't mine gas. But he does know that there's a boatload of Marines. Banelings obviously do quite well against Marines in most circumstances. A 5th barracks coming up now for NGry. It looks like he is just going all in mass Marines against Zerg. That is just kind of questionable play, since obviously Zerg have Banelings, and they're the only race that has any kind of early game mass Marine killer like Banelings. So interesting choice by NGry. He's getting another bunker up. Looks like he did salvage that original one in favor of building a barracks there, and now getting a second one up there to protect his natural. Let's look at the income. Not much to say there. Obviously, FireZerg did get his hatch up way early before he even started his spawning pool, so he's been on a mineral lead for a long time. Gas is even. Harvester count way in FireZerg's favor. He's got 17 more than his opponent NGry right now. Also getting a Roach Warren up as well. He'll soon be working off of 3 gas now. NGry's still going to be working on the 2. Is he going to throw up another refinery? It doesn't look like it just yet. He did finally get a tech lab down though, researching STEM. And a second tech lab coming down makes me think he's going to do some Marauder production here in the near future. Hatchery being hidden way over here on the left side spawn for FireZerg. Not sure if NGry will ever be able to see that, actually. Zergling's speed has completed now. That was the first thing he invested his gas on after that Baneling nest. Baneling nest is done as well, of course, so he can start building those whenever he feels like it. This queen right here, going to start dropping some creep tumors, it looks like. Actually, both queens being pulled away from their hatcheries to be able to do some creep tumor dropping there. Dropping, huh? Because they poop it out. Anyway, lots of Marines out, as you would expect. Are any Marauders being built? Yes, we've got one coming out of this barracks here with the tech lab. Combat shields researching as well as Stimpack. A couple of bunkers down, lots of supply depots down, going to prevent these lings from actually being able to do anything. But FireZerg really just wants to see what's going on and keep a tab on where NGry is moving. He's got his lings spread out pretty much like a fan just outside of NGry's natural, just so we can see exactly when something happens. Looks like this hatch is going to go up undetected without any problems. Lair is now finished as well. What is he going to be researching with that? Did he get that Roach movement yet? The Roach speed upgrade? No, he hasn't, but he is getting Ventral Sacks for his Overlords quite quickly, which is a pretty unique move. You don't see Baneling drops or Zergling drops or Roach drops or any kind of drops here at these close running positions that often for Zerg players. Usually they just mass up units and roll right into the front. But NGry is heavily fortified here at his natural. Looks like he is not choosing to be an aggressor at all. He just wants to protect his minerals. He's got a factory coming up now, spending that gas a little bit. He does have an engineering bay up, getting +1 weapons as well. Still has not added on Vespine Geyser refineries number 2 or 3. Overlord speed was already researched. Ventral Sack's going to be finishing now, and Baneling speed, centrifugal hooks, being researched while a Spire goes up for FireZerg. So FireZerg's been comfortable massing up at home. NGry's been comfortable massing up at his home. And now it looks like NGry is going to try and be an aggressor here. He's got a ton of Marines and Marauders on the move towards the natural of FireZerg. But FireZerg, on the other hand, has quite a few Banelings here. This many Banelings would be easily enough to take out this size force if he manages to get a nice flank. It looks like he was just waiting for NGry to move a little closer so he could roll in from the top while he was trying to battle here at the front. Lots more Banelings coming in now, about 20 more. He's already got 14 on the field. That'll put his count extremely high. Looks like NGry is just coming to clear out some creep tumors and overlords, but FireZerg wants to respond. He's sending a few Banelings. Is he going to manage to kill off all of these units of NGry? It doesn't look like it. He escapes with just a couple of them. NGry spreading out his forces a little bit to help protect against those Banelings, but honestly, why'd you build so much infantry in the first place? You've got +1 upgrades on weapons, Stimpak's done, no concussive shells, combat shields are done. Now he's getting tanks, investing in tanks, but he is supply blocked and getting siege tech at the same time. Does he know about the hidden hatch on the left side? No, he doesn't. FireZerg still just mining happily away from that far left spawn. 61 harvesters against 47. His mineral count is way higher. Gas count is way higher. He's getting +1 flyer attacks here for his Metalisks, cranking out more lings and roaches all the time. Baneling's now loading up into these overlords, so it looks like he will be trying to do a big drop here soon against his opponent NGry. NGry's starting to move on the other hand, trying to take out some more creep tumors. With that single scan, he manages to nab 3 of them. Not bad at all. He is starting to move now, but of course FireZerg sees this happening. He's at 154 supply against 134. He's got these mass marine killers, the Banelings, and he's got 2 overlords loaded up with 4 Banelings apiece. Looks like they are headed for the mineral line. It doesn't look like NGry is actually going to attack these overlords. He's just going to move in with everything. Stims up, running away. He might as well have stemmed up, running in, so he could have focused down those Banelings. He's trying to do some fancy footwork here, and I've got the overlord drops there in the picture-in-picture. FireZerg just running away from this big force of Marauders and Marines. It looks like NGry did actually lose a lot of workers there to those Baneling bombs, and FireZerg still just massing up. 174 supply against 136. His lead continues to grow as long as that third base over there continues to be unscouted. I'm going to take NGry's view just for a second, and no, he does not see the third base or the fourth base now going up for FireZerg. FireZerg has a much larger army. He's got a much stronger economy. NGry, of course, does have the extremely powerful Marine and Marauder mixture here. He's got at least 1 siege tank coming now as well. And it looks like he is sending some Marines around the top here to investigate that left side of the map. Muta's on the field now for FireZerg, but it looks like NGry is choosing now to attack. He does not want to wait for NGry to get too much more of an advantage, so he stems up with this huge ball of Marines and Marauders, leaving some of them to hang back just in case he does get flanked. Banelings and Roaches just rolling in, massacring everything. These Metalists are going to help as well. If they focus down the tank, that would actually probably be the best choice. A couple of Banelings roll into it, and all of these forces of NGry are going to be killed off. That drop, not the drop, but the little attack against FireZerg's third base over there doesn't seem to be going too well either. He did score some drone kills though, but FireZerg responding very quickly, now sending his Metalisks over there as well to try and clean this up, and the last Marine does go down there. So, looking at the damage done, we have 129 supply left for FireZerg. How much do we have left for NGry? Only 87. So FireZerg's still in a dominant position. He's still got 9 more harvesters than his opponent NGry. He still has a higher mineral income and a higher gas income. Still got a much larger army. So those sequences of attacks actually still benefit FireZerg a bit more. NGry's already back with a couple of tanks, a lot of Marines and Marauders. Still does not have concussive shells, which I think is interesting. It's pretty cheap, fast upgrade. But here he goes, stemming in, going to take out this evolution chamber quite quickly, and the broodlings that spawn out of there. But FireZerg, of course, like I said earlier, has a much larger army. These Metalists take out the siege tanks quite quickly. Roach is absorbing some blasts there. Still has some Banelings up as well, and NGry GG's as the last of his army is wiped out. He was down to only 76 supply there, with 51 of that just being SCVs. So FireZerg is going to take the first game. Now let's move on to game 2 to see if he can keep it up, or if NGry will try and fight his way back, maybe try something different other than mass infantry against Baneling, Ling, Muta, Roach with, hidden bases and things like that. So let's go see how game 2 plays out.